Hello po sa lahat! Welcome back to my channel. Itong video na ito is about my tips on how to do a self-review for the IELTS General Training Test. Stay tuned! So before we start with the tips, there are 3 things that I want you to do before starting with a self-review. So first is that assess your skills. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? This is especially important if you have a limited period for the preparation. So dapat mag-focus ka dun sa weaknesses mo at i-practice mo lang ng konti yung strengths mo. So I'm not saying neglect your strengths. No, I'm just saying that you focus more kung ano ang may kulang ka. Okay? So that's one. Second is, ano ba ang goal mo? Ano ang band na gusto mong ma-achieve? Now, kung immigration ka, if your IELTS is for immigration, check kung ano ang requirement ng application mo. If this is for Canada, dapat kasi kung express entry or yung mga federal skilled workers ba yun na program, you have to have at least 7 or 7.5 in all of the tests. Not just the average or the overall score, but 7 in all the tests. So that's 4 tests. Ngayon, kung rural program ang gusto mong puntahan or applyan, depende din sa job code mo. Kung ang job code mo is O or 0, you have to have 6 in all of the tests. Ngayon, kung hindi naman 0, yung parang iba ang classification, I think for rural communities, and you can correct me on this, I think kahit between 4 and 5, tinatanggap nila. So again, check what is your goal. Ano ba ang requirement ng application mo or ng program na i-applyan mo. So you will know kung ano ang kailangan mo i-achieve. That's the second. Third tip. Have you heard of the saying na shoot for the moon? Because even if you fail, you will still land among the stars? Have you heard of that saying? What does it mean? It means dream big. For example, if the requirement of your application is 7, you have to achieve or you have to aim for the band 8. Bakit ka mo? Kasi kung if you fail to get an 8, there is still a possibility that you will get a 7.5, di ba? Or worst, 7, which is the original anyway, which is the original requirement. If you are required to get a 7 and you just aim for 7, what if you will miss that one? Then it will be just 6.5 or 6, right? So kasi yung input natin kasi, yung effort natin, energy, focus, hard work, nagdepend kasi yan sa goal natin. Believe me, this is not just applicable in this IELTS test. This is applicable in all areas of our life. If you just set yourself for this low, your output or your input and output will just be like this. Kasi ito lang naman ang goal mo. But if you set yourself for this standard, yung effort mo, yung energy mo, yung focus mo, elastic yan. How do I say it? You will stretch yourself into getting that standard. Kasi ganito yung aim mo. So dream big, okay? Okay, so let's start the ball rolling. So let's talk about speaking. So ano ba ang i-assess ng speaking part? Based on my experience and based on my understanding, syempre, i-assess yung lexical resource mo. So, ano ba ang lexical resource? Ano lang yan? Vocabulary and spelling. But of course, in the speaking part, spelling doesn't matter. So, vocabulary. Pangalawa is yung comprehension of the instruction. Parang yung task completion. Kasi yung speaking part kasi is my part na You have to, you will be given a topic, tapos you have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes about the topic. So kung magawa mo yun, if you present your ideas well, tapos ano siya, parang coherent tsaka cohesive, parang well presented talaga, gaganda yung score mo. That's 2, right? So third is obviously pronunciation. Did you pronounce the words right? Hindi ba yung nagmamumble ka, nagsa-stutter, nagsa-stammer? And then try to make sure na you don't correct yourself. Yung bang her, or ganun. And the fourth is observe proper grammar, of course. So, huwag kalimutan ang subject-verb agreement. Yung English teacher natin, pinapagalitan tayo dahil iba-iba na yung, iba ang subject, iba yung verb. Yung tenses, yung present, past, future tense, present progressive, past progressive, and future progressive. Ilagay ko dito sa screen dito yung may nakita kasi ako while I was reviewing, may nakita akong parang visual aid about grammar kasi mga kapatid, grammar is also one of my challenges. Bakit kamo? Kasi 13 years ako dito sa Middle East kasi I do speak English daily. Yan ang parang ano ba yan? Yun yung strength in being an OFW. Ang problema lang kasi is majority naman dito sa Middle East are not English native speakers. So sa 13 years kong paglalagi dito, wala nang grammar, gutay-gutay. Kasi kung proper sentence, if you speak straight English with proper subject, verb agreement, walang nakakaintindi sa'yo. Walang nakakaintindi na worker sa grocery, kung pupunta ka ng bakala, wala. At kahit sa office mo and you're dealing with people from other countries whose English is second or third language, ang hirap besh. And if you're an OFW in the Middle East, you understand what I'm talking about. So sa 13 years na yan, wala na yung grammar ko. Alam ko yun. So before I start the self-review, chinek ko talaga yung grammar ko. So, I hope that you will not forget practicing your grammar. Ang maganda kasi sa grammar is may law yan, di ba? May laws. Pag ganito, ganito. Pag ganito, ganito. So, madali siyang intindihin. Actually, correcting your grammar is easier than building your vocabulary. Mga besh, during the speaking part, hindi kasi pwedeng you just talk about something in the present. Kasi for the examiner, that is just simple sentence structure. You have to have you have to play it with different tenses to better express yourself. Okay, so that is applicable in speaking and that is applicable in writing test. Okay, so that is speaking part ng IELTS. Now, let's talk about listening. Okay? So, ano ba ang mga factors na i-assess during the listening? Ano ang mga factors na needed in order to get a higher score in the listening? Una is still lexical resource. So, ito na yung vocabulary tsaka spelling. Kasi may fill in the blanks kasi mga kapatid. So, kung alam mo ang word pero hindi mo alam ang spelling, wrong spelling wrong, di ba? Sabi ng English teacher natin. So, that is applicable in the IELTS. Tapos, pangalawa, I have my notes, so I will not forget. Pangalawa is comprehension. Bakit ka mo comprehension? Kasi kung hindi mo naiintindihan yung conversation, you will not be able to understand and obviously, hindi mo masasagot yung mga tanong kasi hindi mo nga naiintindihan yung conversation. So that's lexical resource and comprehension. So paano ba natin ma-improve yung listening test natin? You have to practice. You have this is the website that I was practicing. And then kasi ang maganda dyan sa website na yan is kompleto siya. And especially the listening. Kasi ang maganda dyan sa listening test is ina-assess at the end of the 40 minutes, kinocompute na yung score. So alam mo. Tapos maganda pa niyan is meron mayroon siyang transcript ng conversation at the end, makikita mo kung saan ka nagkamali. The next time, alam mo na kung saan ka saan ka magfo-focus at saan mo dapat i-avoid. Kasi sa listening kasi may mga instruction na dapat ang sagot ay not more than 1, minsan not more than 2, and minsan naman not more than 3. So you have to make sure na you follow that instruction. Now, if the instruction is the answer should not be more than 3, kung ang sagot lang naman talaga is 1 lang, do not add. Kasi yung sagot lang naman is 1. Do not be confused with the instruction na hindi dapat more than 3. It could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 3, but not more than 3. Yun yung explanation niyan. Okay. So, practice the listening test. Kahit na feeling mo is wala kang masyadong problema sa listening. Problema kasi sa listening when you are in the exam proper, malaking chance na magpapanik ka. Kasi yung conversation kasi, one time lang i-played. And the conversation progressively more difficult as the test goes on. So, ang part 1 is just simple conversation between two people. Yun lang yun. So, that's good because parang warm up lang siya. So, make sure that you have, a proper mind. Hindi ka nagni-nervous. Especially sa part 1. Kasi, pag nag-nervous ka na kasi sa part 1, baka hindi mo na makontrol at tuloy-tuloy na yan. And there are 40 items. Sayang naman yung effort ng self-review mo kung you cannot control your nerves, di ba? So, yung listening test is my conversation between two people. Tapos, minsan may lecture, yung isang tao lang. Pero yung subject, difficult. Tapos, minsan naman tatlo ang mag-uusap. Tapos, minsan, may mga tricky yan. For example, ang tanong sa test booklet is about salary. So, what is the basic salary or what is the starting salary? This actually was one of the questions dun sa tinake kong IELTS on November 21. So, yung tanong is, what is the starting salary? So, yung conversation ganito. So, what was your first salary? So, first or starting salary, parehas lang yan, di ba? So, do not be confused na the word start is wala doon. Ang diniscuss is yung first. Synonymous lang naman yun. So, ganito ang conversation. Yes, let me check. My salary was, let's say, 4,500. Oh, sorry. That I meant that was last year. My first salary was, let me check. Wow, that was 5 years ago, so I don't remember now. I think it was 3,200. No, wait. I think it was 2,900. Ganun ang pag-uusap. So, kung nagni-nervous ka na, baka hindi mo na alam kung anong isulat mo. Just listen closely kasi may mga ganyang trick na parang kino-confuse ka. But always remember kung ano yung keyword ng question. Tapos, listen closely. Pangalawa kong tip is listen to podcast, watch English TV shows. Now, yung conversations ng listening test, mix siya ng American accent, British, obviously. British accent, may Australian accent pa yan at South African accent. So, don't stick to just watch or listen to, let's say, American shows. You have to expose yourself to British, Australian, and South African English accents. Especially kasi sa Australian din, they have also a very strong accent. Kung hindi ka familiar, baka hindi mo makuha. Okay? So, expose yourself to the different accents of the English language. Yun yung second tip. And this is probably the hardest thing to do. Third is build up your vocabulary. Unfortunately, for me lang I don't think there is a shortcut in building up your vocabulary. The only thing you can do is 3 things. Read. Yun lang. Read. Let's say, if you're planning to take the IELTS exam in 3 months or 3 months from now, try to read one book, kahit ganito lang kaliit, mga what, 200 pages, 150 pages. Read one book every week. Slowly, bibuild up yan ng, magbibuild up yan ng vocabulary mo. Ang maganda kasi kung nabibuild up ka ng vocabulary is you also remember the spelling. Remember, spelling is important sa listening tsaka sa writing. So, wrong spelling, wrong besh. So, kung kahit alam mo yung word, hindi mo alam yung spelling, wala din. May minus yan. Minus yan. So, build up your vocabulary by reading, and some more reading. Ito na talaga. Tapos, pang-apat na tip ko is, please do not forget capitalization. If the answer is a proper noun, meaning pangalan ng city, pangalan ng tao, capitalize mo yan, ha? Tapos kung ang answer, for example, ang answer is Sheila, pangalan ng tao, parang fill in the blank ka mo. So, fill in the blank. Blank yan yung first sa sentence. Blank, tapos is the leader. So, ang sagot, for example, within the conversation is Sheila. Dapat capital yung S. Kasi nga, proper noun, tsaka first word pa. First word ng sentence. Okay, so do not forget the capitalization. Baka kasi kung first word at hindi mo na inintindi na kailangan capital, minus din yan. Okay?